if you would, your thoughts on the win.
Yeah, I mean, definitely an abrupt ending, but I thought the level was really high there for 2.5 sets, 3 sets, whatever the case may be. Really, really high. I thought my game plan was perfect. Let him in there in the second a little bit, but I thought I just kept going. I thought I applied pressure really well. I thought I played well. The only thing, serve again, just wasn't where I wanted to be. Really packed. You gave him a lot of second serve looks, but just got to do better on that front. But everything else, I returned great and moved really well tonight, and I made I made him earn a lot of points, which is great. So ultimately, man, can't be too. I mean, I don't really have that much to say. So very happy to be in another semi.
Thank you. One question each. Jake.
Francis, congrats on the win. I know you were asked the other night about playing against Roger earlier in your career, but having him in the stands tonight, what does that mean to you, and how much does that sort of inspire you on the court?
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty sick. Obviously, I mean, to be honest, I wasn't thinking about it that much. Like more pumped that like Kevin Hart said and Roger, like honestly. But and you last couple years of Labor Cup, like you kind of get used to that, like seeing him like in the stands. So, but yeah, like when they show him, you're like, man, this dude was different, man. Won here 5 years in a row. Like the guy was, and the the way he looked in the suite is the same way he looked when he was playing. No sweat and tees like iron, like perfect. Like it's just like, man, what's up with this dude, man? And so hair perfect. So it's just funny, man. I give him crap about that all the time. But what a guy, man. What a legend. It's so nice that he's just enjoying his life, doing his things, like just popping in wherever he kind of wants to, and everyone embraces him. Unbelievable wherever he goes. I mean, he's such an icon. So ultimately, it was pretty dope. But seeing Kevin Hart was sick, honestly.
Matt.
Hey, Francis, well done. This journey, I mean, you've been in here for a couple weeks and saying you believed in it yourself. When did you really start to believe that it was possible to get where you are now and maybe go even further?
I mean, since I landed in New York, I mean, I just came from Cincinnati, so I'm coming here feeling pretty good. Like it always helps going to a place where you've had great success. But I mean, to be honest with you, I wasn't really thinking, make a semi, win the event. I saw the draw, and I was just like, man, I gotta put Ben. I'm not that high seed like I was before. So I don't know where I'm gonna sit at, and I'm like, playing Ben. It's not something you're gonna look past, are you? And then once I kind of got through that, the jaw shakes up, and then you're kind of like, well, why not? But I've been super day by day, and now, my feet are in the semi, so it is what it is.
In the back.
Congrats, Francis. So it's yet another U.S. hardcourt swing where you're having really good results here at the Open. Is there something you've learned at this point about this time of the year that you want to kind of bottle up and use for the rest of your season, or that's your mindset?
Probably keep it for August. No, man, it's too hard to replicate, man. Like it's too hard to replicate. Like I'll never be excited to play in the States than I would be to play like in Madrid. That's just not happening. Like the only place outside of the States where I feel really, really good to play is in Wimbledon. Queens, on the grass where it's like really fun to play, and they really embrace me a lot out there. It's just too hard, man. I mean, you see when you're out here playing, this is madness out here. It's just like, what's going on, bro? It's crazy. It's too hard to replicate, and you get so excited, watch it as a kid. But I'm just really focused, man. I'm locked in, but I'm having fun. I'm not putting so much pressure on myself. I'm kind of just going in and battling, and I've been producing some really nice stuff. But yeah, it's almost like a joke that Francis wakes up in August. So we'll see. We'll see how my career goes going forward with that.
Chris.
Francis, congrats, Chris Otto with U.S. Open. I know it's going to be a war on Friday with you and Taylor, and I know you're focused individually on what you want to get out of this tournament. but I wonder if there's any satisfaction to the fact that we've got the first American male Grand Slam finalist since 2009 in here since 2006, that your group has collectively produced that.
Yeah, me, Taylor, Tommy, Riley. You know, we've spoken about it for years. This is the group. This is the group, and you know, we openly speak about it. I think you know, we all been knocking on the door. You know, Taylor's, I mean, been in and out of top 10, you know, top 15. You know, myself, I was top 10 this time last year. You know, Tommy's knocking on the door. Quarter's playing great. Ben, so like, it's only a matter of time. You put yourself in positions, like, it's only a matter of time. And the game is open. It's not like it once was where, you know, you make a quarterfinal, you play Rafa, and it's like you're looking at flights. Now it's like, I mean, now, I mean, that's just the reality. Now it's just totally different. Like, you know, and no one's unbeatable. Especially later in the season where, you know, guys are maybe a little bit cooked, you know, just, you know, maybe just not as fresh, and, you know, they're vulnerable. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting. First potential time, well, first time since '09, and yeah, hopefully it's me.
Howard.
Frances, do you remember the first time you met Taylor or first time you played him? And
Yeah.
do you remember also the first time you guys might have, whether it was the two of you or the rest of this group, some of whom you just mentioned, that you guys might have joked about or seriously talked about doing this? Getting to these stages, these tournaments together, maybe even?
No, I mean, it's not like a little like sit down like intervention kind of thing. It's just like more like, I mean,
I meant even like as kids when you first started knowing each other.
Yeah, I mean, well, definitely not as kids, because you just can't, I mean, you don't know what making is like when you're like 12, 13. When I first met him, I mean, Taylor was, I mean, he was an odd cat. He was a different cat. Like, I mean, I mean, I definitely wasn't thinking he was gonna do what he's done. He's changed his body like unbelievable. You know, like he's just really talented. Like he was like a part-time player. He played like a couple times a week at a quarter's house. He wasn't like I mean, he'll tell you, like he went to normal high school. Like he was just a normal kid. While we're, you know, out there grinding. Then he started putting more time into it. But yeah, man, he was funny, man, when we were younger. But I think as we got closer to it, like, you know, seeing how committed it is and how much he wanted it. Once we all kind of turned pro, like we all just like pushed each other to kind of want to be great. You know, sometimes it's unspoken, sometimes you speak about it, but you know, nobody wants to leave each other, you know, behind, and it's been a special thing to be a part of.
Ava.
Frances, you've got a 1-6 record against Taylor, but I'm guessing the way you're talking about it, the way you're playing right now, you've never played each other at the US Open. You're assuming things might be completely different this time. How do you approach a match like that? Like, do you take any of those prior matches into it, or is it just such a different situation?
It's different on Ash, man. It's different. Obviously, you have to learn from those. You know, a couple of those I thought I actually should have won. But, you know, I mean, he's tough, man. He's a tough player. Like, he played great from both sides, got a great serve. He's moving much better now. But, I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be a big moment for both of us to play for a final. I mean, I don't think those matches are anywhere near what this match would be, so it's kind of tough to, you know, even go from there. Like, playing in quarters of Acapulco 500 and playing semis at Arthur Ashe at night, it's going to be, well, hopefully at night, it's a little different. It's a little different. So, you know, I mean, it's going to be interesting, man. We'll see what happens.
All right, I have time for two more. Young lady right there, and Willie.
Lucy, Backspin Global. You've been asked a lot, and all the other American players, about the rise of American players, but how does it feel to have the rise of also African American players and other black players from other countries? And also, does that motivate you or give you more pressure, especially that you're one of the first to break through a lot of like the stuff? For example, the semi-finals is not your first time. You've done it 2 years ago, so yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. It's great. Like, you see, like, you know, especially for me in my area. I mean, I see Haley here. You know, she should have qualified. Robin, you know, Montgomery. You have this Italian American girl, Grant or something like that. I seen her around. Tyrus Grant or what?
Tyra Grant, yeah.
No, it's pretty cool. You see Matt Forbes, you know, won Kalamazoo. He played in the main draw here. He had a funny celebration I saw on Instagram. The young dudes are different nowadays, but yeah, man. I mean, it's cool, man. It's cool, and when those guys, you know, see me, you know, they see me as, you know, like a role model, you know, guy, you know, I want to aspire to be, and that's a pretty cool seat to be in. Obviously, as you guys know, I'm not a guy that takes himself too serious by any means. So it's funny, you know, being in that seat, but at the same time, you know, you got a responsibility to do when you're out there, you know, compete and enjoy, and because things you do, you know, those kids are gonna mimic, and you know, want to be how you carry yourself, how you approach the game, you know, how you compete, what you do out there, things you say in the interviews, they're gonna want to mimic that, and you know, and be like that. So it's great. And then from a big picture standpoint, you know, I mean, I got, you know, so many people that would never watch tennis a day in their life coming to matches because, you know, I'm playing. You know, you've seen so many cool people come out to watch, and just normal people that would just never really watch tennis and now are like fans of it because I'm playing. It means a lot, and it's helping the game. And I generally think when I'm playing well, it helps the sport for sure.
Willie, final question.
You spoke a bit about the way Taylor was as a kid. What do you consider now to be the biggest differences between you as players and as personalities?
I mean, as personalities, you can't meet two different, more extreme. Like it's extreme. He's like a, you know, I mean, he's a video game, never leave the room, you know, like gets a goofball, and I'm like, you know, loud and obnoxious at times, and but he's also very funny. Like he's got that, like, you know, dry humor, smart ass. But at the same time, but that's why we like each other, because we're so different, and that's why we get along so well. And then as competitors, we're very like hate to lose, you know, and we battle hard, and but I mean, personalities we're very different. But it's funny to see our relationship of how we've gotten, you know, older. I mean, Taylor and I have had conversations about, you know, being 1 and 2 Americans for a very long time. I remember we were sitting in a plane like some years ago, and you know, he's pretty like to himself dude, and he's like, bro, I think me and you know, are gonna be 1 and 2 Americans and leading the way. Come from him, and I was like, yo, dang, dude, like 6 a.m. Like, I'm pretty tired, but I was like, yo, let's do it. Like, why not? So, you know, and he's kind of had that mindset, and he's pushed me a lot. You know what I mean? Even times I'm playing really bad, or whatever case may be, or I'm like, and he's, you know, he's doing it, or vice versa. Like I think we've kind of always really pushed each other, and now I think it's great that we get to compete against each other in such a big match. And you know, I'm happy for him. I know he's happy for me. So let the best man win come Friday, man. It's gonna be epic. So, you know, get your popcorn, do what you got to do. It's gonna be a fun one come Friday.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Frances.
Yeah.